guys, it's Jake's Metal Chat. I hope you're all well and staying safe. Here is the second part to my favourite underground metal releases, episode 2, USA. Was meant to do this as soon as I got back for my day out with my mum on her birthday, but I was absolutely knackered and there was no way I was going to get it done on Thursday because I was going out again and I left quite early on in the morning. So I thought this evening on a Friday, and if you saw my post on Facebook, I did say it will be later on Friday, so here we are. Haven't got very many bands to get through this evening. I'm going to show one that I should have showed in my first part, and it's a band from Tampa, Florida, been going since 1987, and it's the band Cynic, and I'm showing their debut, which I do think needs more recognition, and that's Focus. Absolutely phenomenal album, it's just very technical, proggy style death metal. It is very proggy when you hear it. It's very technical because there's just so much going on. Should have CD. I think you can see a little bit of the artwork there. There we go. And obviously my reflection. And of course, a big shout out to these two. Obviously, they passed away back in 2020. That's Sean Malone and Sean Reinhardt, who Sean, of course, there was on Human for Death. Same with Paul, who was also on the seventh day God Created Master, which I showed in the last video. And of course, when I realized, I was like, wait a minute, I've forgotten another band. But luckily, I remembered during the video. So what do you get? Like I said, you get very technical, very proggy death metal. Looking at their Metallum, they were thrash metal to begin with, and then they went from progressive death fusion, mid, and then progressive rock later on. So, but it's very technical, it's beautiful as well. My favorite song from here is Euroboric Forms, because that was the first song I ever heard on this album, first song I ever heard by Cynic, and then I heard this entire album and just fell in love with it. Of course, here's the back. Got bonus tracks because this is a re-release, and it came in this nifty little case, which I want to do that because I've been trying to get the book out of this, but it got stuck. So I'm not going to try and get the book out, but I'll show it in another video. Then I'll do it then. Yeah, the artwork's beautiful. See, put it out there. The artwork's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful there. Fantastic album. An album that needs a lot more recognition, I think. So that's Cynic with a debut album, Focus, which came out in 1993. I was going to say even 91, 92, but that would have been wrong. So 1993, fantastic album, fantastic band. I hope to see him live one day. I don't know when I'm ever going to see him live, but hopefully at some point this year or somewhere next year or the year after that. Right, now on to the ends here. So this is going from N to W. The last one was A to M. And the first band I got for you on the ends, because I haven't got that many bands beginning with N. And these guys are from Oakland, California. They've been going since 2011, so they've been going for 12 years now. I saw these guys with Demolic, Spectral Voice, and my mate's band Sodomized Cadaver in London, and this was 2018. So it's the only time I've actually seen them so far. They're called Necrot, and they are excellent death metal in my opinion. Absolutely love this band, and I've got two of their albums here. The first one is Blood Offerings, which is from what was on the back, but obviously not. Let me just get the albums up. This is from 2017. This is their debut. And what an album. I bought this. If I remember correctly, I did buy it at the gig. I could probably get the book out. There's the CD. Look at that. Black and gold. Gold and black. The colors of gold and black go really well. Same with black and silver, and even gold and other colors as well. But on CDs, they always seem to look very, very cool. The book rolls out into the artwork a bit more. Absolutely fantastic artwork. I can't remember who did. Okay, got him. Millard Van, I can't say his name, but there he is. And also we got David Nicholson of Unbeing, who done the logo. Absolutely cool. Absolutely cool band. I haven't seen them since 2019. They played Bristol in 2019, and then Scandinavia Death Fest same year. Hope to see them again. Oh yeah, there's the band. Because these two are from California, and our vocalist there, Luca, is from Italy originally, but relocated to California, and he's got a awesome old school style death metal vocal. Very, the style, his vocals are very old school death metal, and these guys are very old school death metal. Just so good. And here's their second album, which is from 2020, called Mortal. Almost had to look to see which one I was looking at again. Again, excellent album. Now we got a gold and nice clear CD, and that's really cool as well. I love the logo, of course. David Mickelson of Unbeing, however you prefer to say the band. And of course, same with the artwork on the book. Just see from like start to finish. Absolutely awesome artwork, awesome band. I hope to see them again soon. I'm not sure when they'll be coming back to the UK. I hope they do. Yeah, these guys are old school death metal, Oakland, California. But when you think California, you mainly think like bands in the vein of like Poison and Motley Crue and bands like that. But there are extreme bands there, and Necrot is one of them. And there's going to be a few more on this list that are. So definitely pick these two albums up if you've not got them or you've not heard of these guys, and you're looking for some new death metal bands. Hang on a minute, eyes itching. Definitely highly recommend these guys. Can't stress that enough, because you always find new bands, not heard this band. I highly recommend you do. So Necrot, definitely Necrot. And also this next band from Tampa, Florida, been going since 1987. One of the members was in Morbid Angel. You can probably guess who I'm going to be talking about next. But before I do, cheers. It's my new cup that I got from the Griffin here in Bristol. They got this one, which is a half pint, and the full pint glass as well, which I will be picking up. Yeah, this band, we all know, who it is. But for those who don't, I highly recommend you check them out. But for those who do know who this band is, you know how awesome they are. It's Nocturnus. And here is their debut album from 1990, The Key, which is one of my all-time favorite death metal albums. And of course, we've got the guys in the back. and obviously the guy I'm on about who was in Morbid Angel, and also had Incubus. Now he has Nocturnus AD, and he was in Acheron before Acheron after after Nocturnus. There he is, Mike Browning. Well, we know the whole story behind that, but we're not going to get into it. Hey, show the artwork a bit more. Pretty cool artwork that is, of course. I don't want to go. Yep, Dan Seagrave. Look, it says it right down there. Dan Seagrave. Absolutely. His artwork's always phenomenal. And I love the design of the CD. Of course, got the logo in white, the background with purple and white, and of course, the album title in green. Every song on this album, and those who have heard it will know how awesome it is, how absolutely incredible it is from start to finish. Of course, my favorite songs obviously being Lake of Fire, Standing in Blood, Visions from Beyond the Grave, Neolithic, Under Journey, Andromeda's Strain, the Undead Journey, of course. All the songs are amazing, but like obviously my favorites are, if I was going to have to pick, or if I'm going to pick like three of them, obviously Lake of Fire, Neolithic, and Andromeda Strain. Please, people, like I said, if you're brand new to death metal, well, these were one of the, they were literally the first death metal band to introduce keyboards within death metal, and it's all thanks to that guy there for playing keyboards, bringing keyboards in, and you know what? It fits really well. What's his name? Louis Gonzar. I think I said that wrong. So, but yep, bringing keyboards for the band, and of course Mike Brown doing the drums and the vocals, and of course this is very technical as well because there's a lot of solo done by the guitarists, which are these two. Can't remember the names, and their bass player, who I think, if I remember correctly, they had to redo a lot of his bass parts because he kept arriving to the studio drunk, if I remember correctly from learning the history about this album. But won't go too much into that. Definitely get this one. It's literally their best album in their discography. But also, I really like their second album from 1992, and that is Thresholds. Absolutely. This is also a great album, but obviously you don't get the vocals from Mike Browning anymore. You get them from I don't know, I'll get the book out, but look at the CD. Very blue and like very clear. But every time I look at it, I think it's like a very clear silver color. So yeah, blue and silver, that always goes well. And there's obviously the band, and the vocalist is there. I can't remember his name now, which I'm gonna get the book. I think it's got the band name. No, nope. I think his name was. I think his name's Dan. I think it was. I could be wrong. No, can't find his name in it. I'll have to look that up very quickly. But definitely, Thresholds is a great album, but it doesn't beat this one. This one's excellent, and obviously, Nocturnus AD. That album carries on from this one, because this was also supposed to be a continuation from what the lyrical things were on this one, but obviously it was a lot different. And apart from that, this is still a really cool album, but obviously this is the best one. Let me just get Nocturnus up and find out what his name was. I know they released one more album in 1999 called Ethereal Tombs, Tomb, sorry, I haven't heard it, so what's his name? Dan Izzo. That's who the vocalist was, and wasn't in too many bands. He was in a band called Tortured Soul, and then obviously Nocturnus. But who's only in the band from 92 and 93. But obviously, do listen to this one because it is, like I said, a really cool album. But definitely pick this one up and just constantly play it just play it and enjoy it, and just also admire the artwork because so much went into this, and it's just lost for words because it's such a very, very fantastic, phenomenal album. And cheers again. I know this band has been mentioned a lot. Everyone knows these guys. Been around since 1983 from San Francisco, California. And of course, I am talking about Possessed. And everyone knows this album, but I'm giving two albums a lot of recognition here, especially this one, Seven Churches. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic album. I also have this on vinyl as well, but as I can get to my CDs a little bit easier because they're nicely stacked, but it's just like it's just like you got to know what's what. Of course, a black and red CD with the white upside down crucifix, and of course the band themselves. I think there's a picture like that is on the vinyl of them in very. Look at this band picture there. Mike here went on to, I think, form or join the Primus, if I remember correctly. Okay, we've got Mike Souza from the drummer. I think it's Souza. However you say, I'm just still a bit tired actually. Woke up pretty early this morning. I don't usually wake up too early. Some cool pictures there. Because we got our main man, Jeff, who I got to see these guys in 2017 at Bloodstock. Absolutely incredible. And the last but not least, Larry, right there. Not sure when he took the pictures, but they're really cool. I'm a sucker for old school band pictures such as that, and of course on the back of Nocturnus as well. I love old school band photos, and I hope a lot of you do too. So, but there's going to probably be someone out there who's like, I've not heard of Possessed. Do you? Of course, I highly recommend them, but especially this album because it is absolutely fantastic. But also, I have Beyond the Gates, this is from 1985. This is from 1986, which also has their 1987. Just want to confirm it's 1987. Yep, 1987 EP, The Eyes of Horror. Because I think the cover looks different to what is it when I have a look at it here. Just the artwork's a bit different on the picture there, but just a fun little fact. This was released on Halloween in 1986. So I'll be blasting this on Halloween from now on. It's got the back. And I think there's another. It's a logo. Obviously, the logo there is different from that one. Because obviously, it's got the upside down crucifix. This doesn't, but a purple and white CD. This might be, I think, yeah, this is a re-release, and whoops, CD just fell out. I managed to catch it, and I got this for Christmas, and also that as well. So, obviously, Beyond the Gates, fantastic album, but this is phenomenal. Again, check it out if you haven't. Check this band out if you haven't. And I know there's that argument, who's the first death metal band? Is it Possessed? Is it Death? Well, we're not going to get into that now or any other time. Just enjoy Possessed for what they are, and that is some extreme brutality from 1985. This is Possessed, 7 churches and beyond the gates. But most importantly, 7 churches. Right, we're nearly finished on the P's. The next one is from Dallas, Texas. And of course, my thoughts go out to the friends and family of Riley Gale, who sadly passed away in 2020. And also goes out to his bandmates here. And of course, I'm talking about Power Trip, and this is it's not their debut. I was going to say debut, but it's not. This album's from 2017 as well, 2017. And of course, it is Nightmare Logic. Just thrash, crossover thrash, just at its absolute best. There's a lot of great thrash crossover bands, but these guys definitely are on the top of that. Of course, my favorite tracks on it. My all-time favorite track on this one. Well, 2 of them: Executioner's Tax, Swing of the Axe, and Firing Squad. But track 2 definitely. There's the artwork, the CDs in here. I have to replace it because the thing that usually keeps it together, the little clip there, is, well, it's broke. I'm going to get that fixed, but there's the CD. And we've got the booklet, which I think, no, wait, this isn't a booklet. This is a poster, which I'm tempted to put on my wall, or just keep it in the CD because it's also got the lyrics. But there's the poster. I think a lot of people will have this one in their collection as well. They got the same CD I got. But really cool there. Really cool stuff. But yeah, Riley, when I saw him, because I didn't see him at Bloodstock 2018, but I did see him at Download 2019. And the stage presence that man had on stage was just insane. He knew how to draw a crowd in. And that's what I like. That's what I liked about Power Trip. They have awesome music and an excellent stage presence. There's been a lot of bands on like excellent music, stage presence isn't there, or it's like music's there, they've got a little bit of a stage presence, just need a bit more. But with these guys, it's excellent music, excellent stage presence, and definitely Nightmare Logic is one to get. Of course, they have one more album, which is their debut, which is Manifest. Is a Manifest Decimation. There we go. Finally got it in the end. So definitely, I don't have that one yet, but I will pick it up. I told you my pronunciations ain't that good, but yes, definitely get Power Trip, Nightmare Logic. Excellent thrash, and I hope to see these guys back in action. I don't know if they're ever going to do any more shows, because you always get that it's never the same without a certain member, which it's sad, but it's true. But there have been bands. I don't know if it's going to be the same if they get someone else for Power Trip, but that whoever they get can match what Riley did on stage, then wow. I'd love to see Power Trip again, and again, my thoughts go out to his friends, his family, his bandmates. He'll live on. Within the music that he helped create. definitely. And this is the next one's the only one that I have that begin with R. No, wait, I have two. Sorry, three. Sorry, I was just looking at my list again. I told you, I've had a long week, so you know, thought, well, for this weekend, I'm going to be chilling out for a lot of it. So, yes, rephrase myself. I have three bands beginning with R. And the first one, they formed in 1986. And they are from, well, started in Flint, Michigan, but then relocated to Hollywood, California. And of course, I am talking about grindcore legends, Repulsion. There's a lot of whoever's watching this will like, yeah, Repulsion, yeah. And some people are like, who's Repulsion? I'm like, who's Repulsion? This is Repulsion with their only album, Horrified. Of course, I got the re-release, which has got two CDs because I got their rehearsal demo, their demo from 1985, demo from 1986, live stuff from the Genocide live stuff from 1986, and EP/demo, which I don't know what year that came out, and of course their final demos from 1991, which I'll show on the back. But yeah, Repulsion didn't get as much recognition as, like, let's say, like Napalm Death and Carcass, but definitely those two bands will say that Repulsion was one of their influences, and by this album and the demos, and also by this album, you can see why these guys definitely knew how to just have you bang your head constantly, and when you saw them live, just have you move. Because during this, when I saw them at Temples Fest, when it was festival in Bristol, anyone from Bristol or came up to Bristol or down to Bristol, you know that festival, and these guys were on the bill. And during one of their songs, I did pull a muscle on my shoulders. I was like, but that was a sign of a good night. And there's the guys in the band. We got Scott right there. I got my other names. Matt is no, it wasn't Matt I met. It was Aaron. Yeah, it would have been Aaron that I met. It's probably Aaron or Matt, I'm not sure. And of course, we got Dave on the drums. Got some old school posters in there, right there. What else have we got? I think, yeah, there's a picture of one of the guys from Impetigo with him right there. And of course, we got Scott wearing a Napalm Death long sleeve. And of course, a picture of Repulsion, which was all area access pass for them at Michigan Death Fest too. So whoever got to see him there back in the day, lucky you. Because that happened on the year I was born. Obviously, if I was born a little bit earlier, would have gone to that. More band pictures there. But yeah, Repulsion, Horrified. Like I said, like with the CDs, it's this one, which would be the album. And if we can flip it over here, the other ones will be all the demos. Now, for my favorite songs on this album, well, obviously, Acid Bath, there's Radiation Sickness, Splatter Cadavers, Maggots in Your Coffin, and of course, The Stench of Burning Death. Just great grindcore. I mean, you could call them grindcore death metal. Well, Matan says, yeah, I'm telling genre grindcore death metal, but it's got those death metal elements, but it's very, very grind. And this album, if you're looking for a awesome grindcore album, an excellent grindcore album, a very underrated one in my opinion. Definitely Horrified by Repulsion. Check it out. Get it. Along with this album, which is a band from Tampa, Florida, have been going. They're no longer going now, but they formed in 1990. This is Resurrection with the debut album, Embalmed Existence. And I have it on cassette. Which, if you follow me on Instagram, I played this a while back. And if I remember correctly, I think this, I want to say it came out in 92, 93. So, right, yeah, early. But yeah, I've been meaning to get this album, and this was one of the first things I ever bought at Black City Records. And of course, the tape's so old school, it's black with the logo. Absolutely old school. So we've got side B there, side A there. I can show a little bit of the inside of the booklet because there is a band picture there. Really cool. And the lyrics. And now I got to remember to actually try and get the book back in, because I tried doing that when I did the collection update. Of course, the drummer couldn't do this album because I think he was ill, and of course, two of them have passed away, John and Dave. John as T passed away 2 years ago, and Dave Scott passed away in 2014. Absolutely. So my thoughts go out to their friends and family and their bandmates. So, and but the drummer who was on this album was Alex Marquez, and everyone will know the name Alex Marquez. Solstice, Meverick Creation, Demolition Hammer. He's done a hell of a lot of bands, and he's still in Solstice to this day. And his drumming on this is excellent. Along on Retribution by Meverick Creation, and obviously on Solstice's debut. But yeah, cool. But again, my condolences go out to the two on this album that are no longer with us. Which the members are Dave Scott and oh god, I just found them all. I don't know, three that passed away. Michael St. Michael S. I'll just say for short, and one more time to John St. So 3 members, but 2 of them were on this album. The other guy wasn't. But rest in peace to all 3 of them. And if you got this album, blast it. Such a great album. One of my favorite underground death metal releases. And one more R before I decide to go straight to the S's. Resurrection, Embalmed Existence, absolutely fantastic. Found out about these guys in 2008 because someone mentioned them on their channel, along with another band called Demented Ted, which I don't have that album, and I know was really difficult to find. But I will find it one day and show it in an episode, maybe a part 3 to this. Last one is from Las Vegas, Nevada. They did form in 1986, but then disbanded sometime in the 90s. This is Mitch Harris's first band before he joined Napalm Death. And the band that I'm talking about is Righteous Pigs. And this is their debut, because I'm going to say this is their debut, but it turns out this is their debut from 1989. This is an original pressing. I haven't played it yet to see how much it's been played, but yeah, this is their debut from 1989. This is Righteous Pigs with Live and Learn. Yeah, this is some old school grindcore right here, and of course on the back we got him, and of course you can see Mitch right there. I'm not sure what t-shirt he's wearing. Funny enough, he's wearing a Napalm Death shirt. And so you can see where he was going from this one, because the second album is Stress Related from 1990. So he did those 2 albums and then disbanded in 1990, briefly got back in 1993, reformed in 2012, and then split up once again for the final time in 2013. But this is their debut, which I did listen to on YouTube before getting this and before getting a vinyl player, and which plays CDs and cassettes. And damn, I'm surprised this doesn't get spoken about very much. I'm surprised Righteous Pigs doesn't even get spoken about at all on any channel. Along with, well, Resurrection's been mentioned a few times on some channels. I've seen this mentioned quite a lot as well, along with the other albums that I've just shown, albums and EPs. But I don't see it. I haven't seen this on any other collections. I may see it on like probably Mark G with a C's channel at some point. Big shout out to him. And maybe on Ken's Death Metal Crypt, and a shout out to him, and also to Liam, the Death Doom Metalhead, because I was meant to do that in like last video because I mentioned a funeral doom metal band, Bellwitch. But this is some good straight up grindcore. Well, the class is death metal grindcore crossover, so pretty much a broad line of fans there. That would fans there, so you get your fans of like the crossover stuff, grindcore and death metal. As for me, I love all 3, so definitely get this if you don't have it yet. Have it. I can't remember where I put it. There it is. Hang on. Got the cover for it. I take it out because we don't want to keep it in the cover. But this is the cover it came with, and as you can see there, 1989 first pressing, and yeah, that's how much I got for it at Black City Records. And this ain't going anywhere. So, Righteous Pigs, live and learn. Now on to the S's, and I got. Let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 S's, and get these 2 now. So the first one is from Phoenix, Arizona. They've been going since 1985. I'll have another drink. Some throat's getting a bit parched. Yeah, and some of my mustache. This is a thrash metal band I got into around the late 2000s, and I will be seeing them at Bloodstock this year. Let me just double check that I will be seeing them, because I could get this totally wrong now. Yes, I will be seeing them at Bloodstock in August. And this is Sacred Reich, and I got their EP, Surf Nicaragua. I was trying to say the last bit fast. So, and my God, this is a great release, great thrash. Of course, we got the title track, which is absolutely phenomenal, and the cover of War Pigs is really cool as well. For anyone who's like, I don't know this band, well, check this EP out or wait until you see them at Bloodstock. Entirely up to you, but if you don't want to wait that long, then definitely get this. And also I think it's their debut album. Let me just check. I think The American Way is their debut album. Let me double check. No, Ignorance is their debut album, their second album from 1990. The American Way, definitely one to sink your teeth into, but definitely this one if you want to start off with an EP first. Entirely up to you. But this is how I found out about these guys. Is this EP also got at Black City Records? This is one of the other first purchases that I got from that shop. But yeah, thrash metal, I cannot wait. As soon as the first song comes on, when they play it live, I'm in the pit. I don't care how hot it's going to be that day. If it's like last year when we had that heat wave here in the UK, those in the UK, you would know. I'll be like, you know what? I got a bottle of water I just brought in. Just got a big empty water bottle, filled it up at the taps. I'm just going to pour it all over my head and just get in the pit and then go for an attack and just stick my head under that. And that'll be the sign that I've had an excellent time. But definitely get Surf Nicaragua by Sacred Reich. Last but not least, for the well, let me just get the other S's so I'm not getting myself totally and utterly confused. Next one is from Ichita, I believe that's pronounced, from California. I think I just said that name wrong, or the name I says in a different state. Someone do let me know. They've been going. This band's been going since the same year as Sacred Reich, 1985, and it's the band that Steve DiGiorgio is either still in or has left. Let me have a look. No longer in the band. He left the band in 2015, but of course he's in Testament now. The band that I'm on about is Sadus, and this is their gotta find it now. Where is it? This is one of their releases. Is either this has to be, this is an album of theirs, I know it is. But either way, I'm going to show it. It is Chemical Exposure. So I was looking for it on here, and I'm just, for some stupid reason, I'm not seeing it. But yeah, taken from so this is all their demo stuff. So this would be like a compilation deal, but still, absolutely phenomenal stuff. Of course, my favorite track on the top is Certain Death. Said that very, very West Country. Those from West Country in Bristol, Somerset, you know. But Certain Death, it's Sadus, excellent thrash. That's what death, thrash metal early, technical thrash metal later on. Of course, these guys are still going today. They formed in 85, and in 1985 split up in 2015. 2 years later, we formed in 2017, and they're still going today. Yeah, excellent stuff. People will know say this, but I'm giving these guys a little bit more exposure here, and obviously, well, ironically, chemical exposure, and great release, great awesome band. I hope to actually see it live one day because that would be amazing. Seen Steve Giorgio live, and he's a phenomenal bass player. Phenomenal. But definitely check out Sadus if you are not familiar with him. Get this stuff. Just get all that stuff. And if I'm gonna recommend that album, I think a lot of people will go with this one. Or they might go with their first one, Illusions, but definitely Swallowed in Black. Definitely Swallowed in Black. Definitely. Sadus, Chemical Exposure. Now the next one. They're from Witter, California. I might have said that one, so I do apologize. These guys have been going since 2011. Californian death metal. And let me just get all their releases. Here we go. And I'm going to get their name up so I don't get all of the albums mixed up. Right, here we go. Right, I've actually got the first one up, and that is the band is Skeletal Remains, or Skeletal Remains. Whichever way you say it, I will know who you're on about. And of course, I have their debut here. I got to see these guys here in Bristol in 2016 at the Griffin, which you know my band's going to be playing literally next week, so end of this month. But yeah, but I saw these guys there, and this is their debut album because I think I picked this one up along with the second album. Yeah, so here's their debut from 2012. It's Beyond the Flesh, and yeah, these guys pretty much scream old school death metal because, like, obviously wearing the jeans and old school bands. You know, you got Sepultura, Schizophrenia on a t-shirt, a white t-shirt no less. I don't own that many white t-shirts. All my t-shirts are black or were black, but they washed so much they turned grey, like this Nile t-shirt. But this is an album definitely you need to pick up if you are not familiar with them, or you can go straight to their second album, Condemned to Misery, with some more cool artwork. And I think if I look this album up, lineup, other stuff, artwork. No, I thought this was a Dan Seagrave, but it kind of reminds me of a Dan Seagrave album. I'm not sure which one. Probably a mix of Altars of Madness and the Erosion of Sanity by Gorguts, maybe just a little bit, but that's just me. Or if you don't want to start with any of the first two albums, you can start with their third album. Now, this one's from 2015. The third one is from 2018, and that is Devouring Mortality. Devouring Mortality. And again, amazing. And I think this one, if I do look it up, is, yeah, a Dan Seagrave. Oh, that a Dan Seagrave cover. And again, Dan Seagrave is the go-to guy for back in the day for death metal bands. Definitely. And for good reason, because look at that, it's amazing. And the music's amazing. The album's amazing. And of course, their 2020 release, The Entombment of Chaos, which I only have just the normal release. I don't have the release which has the Stench of Paradise Burning, which is a Disincarnate song, which has the vocalist, I'm trying to remember his name, but I also saw this band at the Griffin from Carnation. The focus from Carnation, they played the Griffin as well. But yeah, the Entombment of Chaos, which I think also is a Dan Seagrave. It is definitely a Dan Seagrave. Yeah, Dan Seagrave. Of course, it's a Dan Seagrave. So these two are Dan Seagrave, and these two are completely different artists, which let me just look up Beyond the Flesh. Beyond the Flesh is Diddy Bandic. Oh, I think I said that wrong, but yeah, it's something completely different. But yeah, again, I mentioned California, and they never had many extreme bands. Of course, I mentioned Fear Factory in my last one, who are from California. These guys are from California, but like I said, you would think like Poison and Motley Crue, especially Motley Crue. But you want extreme stuff. Definitely these guys. And of course, I'm going to show these guys again. I know they're from Michigan originally, but have been residing in Hollywood. Repulsion. So I already showed it. But yeah, definitely Skeletal Remains. And I'll show them like this. So we got Beyond the Flesh, Condemned to Misery, Devouring Mortality, and the Entombment of Chaos, which the last two are on Century Media. So if you need some more death metal, then there's some death metal there. Or grindcore, Repulsion, and of course you want some more technical sci-fi sounding stuff, Nocturnus. Now, to finish off the S's, before I get on to the T's, I know I'm going a bit quick. Just need to count up some more stuff for future videos because I've got a lot more lined up, which I'll say at the end of this video. Next one, another Californian band from Los Angeles, and I had Frank from this band on the chat, and you probably know who this is. If not, you need to check them out. They've been going since 2019, so they've been going for 4 years now. And it's the band Soul Devourment with this EP, The Eternal Perdition. And let me just get that confirmed that it is an EP before we get into it. Eternal, yeah, EP from 2020. And what an EP it is. And I think, which one's Frank? I think that one's Frank. I could be wrong. No, the names are not there. It's just a little banner artwork. But that's the cover. Yeah, the first song I heard by this band, I think, was literally the first track, Purifying the Cadaver. I don't know how to say it, but I'll show you that one. And let me just move my cursor on the screen. You can't see it, but I can see it. Yeah, these guys are obviously the death metal, but that sounds very doomy as well. And with the HM2 added to it, oof, so good, so good. And I think, yeah, CD. Yeah, I didn't show the CDs for the last one. Hang on, let me just show the CDs from the last ones quickly. So got the black and green there. Basically the artwork on the CD. So again, artwork on the CD. And last but not least, whoops, almost fell out again. Logo, album title, and a band picture. And I'm going to move these back up there. There we go. So get the CD again. Black and white CD, very cool looking. And of course, some artwork there with the title, with the band's logo. So the title of the track. It's got lyrics right there, and it's getting hot again. I forgot to turn my fan on because I'm an idiot. But I haven't got very many bands to get through now, so I will get through these quick. So Soul Devourment with Eternal Perdition, but they also have a split called 4 Dimensions of Orrery Terror, yeah, which I do have in there, but I didn't get out. But I did show it in my tape collection video. So get this if you don't have it. And again, you need some new bands. Here's one of them. And now I also got a split for this next band is in there, and I did show it in my tape collection video. This band is from Denver, Colorado. They've been going since 2012. Once again, Soul Devourment, Eternal Perdition. Check them out. Very doomy death metal, but they're just classed as death metal, but it's very doomy. But they've been going since 2011. This next band's been going since these guys have been going since 2019. Soul Devourment. Next band's been going since 2012. I mentioned Demolic and my mate's band, and I also just mentioned them as well when I was saying that gig when I saw Necrot. And the band is Spectral Voice. Let me just get in the camera. There we go. Spectral Voice from Denver, Colorado. This is their demo. Hang on. This is their third demo from 2015. It's called Neurotic Doom, and that's the EP. I've heard it. It's excellent. 3 tracks. It's Death Doom, and that's all that needs is 3 tracks. There's the CD, and there's only 2 of them in the band at that time, and I think it was, Eli doing drums and guitars, and let me just remember, it's Eli, which I don't. No, he was never in Blood Incantation. That's the 3 other guys from the band that are in Blood Incantation, as well as Spectral Voice. Their music, like I mentioned with Immolation's first album, it's very dark. This is a dark EP. Like I said, I've heard it. So I was listening to it because I was listening to this on the way back from London when I was on the coach back from London to Bristol, and it was so heavy, so dark, and just very calming. I was just on the coach, just like relaxing after watching their band, and then obviously watching Demolic, but their band especially. Dude, it's amazing. They're amazing, and of course, it's by Dark Descent Records. So, demo, definitely check this demo out. And this is their only album to date so far. This is from 2017, called Eroded Corridors of Unbeing. This is the little slip cover for it. And this is the cover. And this album is just, again, it's dark. Lurking Gloom is a very dark. All the songs, actually, every song on this is dark. And I got a long sleeve from when they played here in 2019, which has all the tour dates. Yeah, and on the back, nice picture of some hills, mountains, with a nice dark sky, and obviously the artwork there. But this album, I know there's going to be a lot of us mentioning on YouTube. Melanie loves death metal. I think she showed this in one of her videos. Like, I have to go back and see, but I know I think Ken showed this in his videos, but definitely a shout out to Melanie, Ken, Mark, and Liam. And there's so many more, which I will do another shout out video to those YouTubers again, because I've had 3 of them on here. So, and I'm pretty sure Ken showed this one on his EP, on one of his videos, this EP on one of his videos. But this album, sorry, I don't know if he showed this, but yeah, so yeah, album, not EP. They don't have an EP. They don't have an EP anyway, but this is the only album to date, and I hope they're working on some new stuff. I think when I spoke to Eli, they said they were, but I know the other guys are busy with Blood Incantation. But for anyone, again, not familiar with this band, not familiar with this album, Spectral Voice, Eroded Corridors of Unbeing. I had to look on there because I can't read the little small print there. So once again, Spectral Voice, Eroded Corridors of Unbeing. Excellent death doom, very dark, very heavy. Definitely worth your time. Now onto the T's, because I got one B and W's as well, and I forgot to get one album out of my cupboard, which I'll do when I'm getting them all ready. So, right, so the first band. So, well, actually, I'll go with this one first. It's a band who formed in 2020 in Phoenix, Arizona. Death Doom. They got a new album out, which I still need to listen to. It's Thorn. Yeah, Thorn. There's a thorn in my side. Cool. They got a new album is called Evergloom. I have their 2022 release, Yawning Depths. And damn, it's a heavy album. Really good stuff. Cheers to that. And I mean, the artwork as well is reminding me of I can't remember the demo, it's by Devilish and Hammer. It's reminding me of that a little bit. I didn't mention what you get with this band, Death Doom, but it's not like when you hear Death Doom, it's like slow and then it's fast. This is like it's slow, but then it's like it's going really fast after that. So it's a good blend of Doom and then that fast, aggressive death metal in the mix. But definitely, this is definitely one you need to get if you haven't got it yet. But I know there's a lot of us out there, but it's to those who are like, oh, I don't know about this band. Do you recommend them? Yes, I do recommend them. Really cool. Really freaking cool. Really cool stuff. Yawning Depths by Thorn, I think. Let me get the CD. I'll let me turn it around. Nice little purple, blue, black, purple, black colors. Dark colors with lighter colors. Yeah, definitely a band worth the time. The next one, I'll go with this one next. They have been around. This is the oldest one on the list that I'm going to show. They have been around since 1979. Yeah, you heard me correctly, guys. 1979. These guys are from Chicago, Illinois, which is not too far from, well, because Ken has mentioned Chicago a lot when he went to gigs, and obviously he lives outside of it, if I remember correctly from our chat that we did. But these guys are pretty much doom metal icons, and my condolences, my thoughts go out to the rest of the band, friends and family of Eric Wagner, who died in 2021 in August, so of sadly COVID. One absolute get that linking virus, but yeah. But his legacy will live on within his albums, and especially this album. Another one I got from Black City Records, and it's their first album, their debut album. Well, the debut album was just called Trouble. Well, I got two albums with the same name, but then it got retitled as Som 9. But I can also call it the debut as well, which is just a self-titled debut. Absolutely fantastic doom metal. I found out about these guys from a doom metal documentary that someone uploaded on to YouTube. Nice black tape with silver, silver writing for the logo on the album. And I think there's a band picture of them in here, or I could be wrong. Oh no, wait, I am not wrong. There they are. Very late. They're very early 1980s. It's got the logo there. Trouble. Yeah, pretty much mentioned what you get with these guys. Doom. Because these guys formed, yeah, they literally formed a year after Saint Vitus, and that's another band worth mentioning, but I unfortunately don't have any of their stuff yet. But once I do, it's been shown on the channel, of course. And I've not seen Trouble on any YouTubers lists either. I'm just going to top up my beer. There we go. I've not seen this on anybody's collections, and that's gutting, because these guys are great, awesome band. And this is a re-release tape from Hammer Hot Records. Definitely pick up Trouble. Definitely listen to Trouble, and yeah, really cool stuff. Pretty much one of the earliest doom metal bands out there, along with obviously Saint Vitus. And before them, everyone classes them as doom metal, of course, the mighty Black Sabbath. Well, these guys started out as doom metal, and then they became psychedelic doom stoner metal later on. They're still good. Like I said, they formed in 1979, and they're still going strong today. And of course, rest in peace to Eric Wagner. What a legend. Legendary vocalist. What a voice. What a band. What a release. Pick it up. Now, on to one of my other favourite grindcore bands. These guys have been going since 1987 from Los Angeles, California. Of course, Pete Sandoval from Morbid Angel. This was the first band he was in before Morbid Angel. And of course, I'm talking about Terrorizer and their 1989 debut, World Downfall. What more do I need to say? This is a great release. And of course, we've got the guys in the back. Of course, we've got David Vincent, who played bass on this album. And also we got Jesse, rest in peace to him as well. Passed away back in 2006, as we know. But his legacy will live on within this album and the Napalm Death albums he appeared on, Omni Corruption being the first one. Okay, yeah, like I said, we've got Pete there, David there, Oscar and Jesse. Yeah, Oscar Garcia. And of course, obviously the go-to guy for recording death metal and grindcore, Scott Burns. I know this is called my favorite underground metal releases, but it's gonna have a mix of grindcore here and there. And these guys are just classed as tell them death metal grindcore. And these guys they formed in 1986 as a band called Unknown Death, and then called Decompose, and then became Terrorizer in 1987, split up in 89, got back together in 2006. Then 2009, when I saw them in 2017 at Netherlands Death Fest 2, and they split up this year. So they're no longer a band. But again, the band's legacy will live on. I know they got more albums. They got Darkest Days Ahead, Hordes of Zombies, and Caustic Attack. But in my opinion, the best one, and always going to be the best one from their discography, will Downfall. Not much else I need to say. Is excellent grind death metal. Goodness, pick it up if you haven't got, and just I know they're not going anymore, and some people are like, I don't listen to bands ain't going anymore. These guys are still worth a listen, and they're still worth your time. Enough said about that. Now, on to the last bands, which are all in V and W. And before I get on to the next one, I need to get one more album from out of here. And of course, it's just finding it. And nope, that's not it. Yeah, there it is. Put the other one back. And all right, we are all set to go. Now, this one is a band from Providence, Rhode Island. And these guys have been going since 1988. I saw them only once in 2016 here in Bristol. To those who have been to Bristol, if you remember a venue called the Beer Keller, there are a lot of bands that played there. Morbid Angel played there, Bolt Thrower played there, Napalm Death played there, Carcass, Death, Creator. So many bands. And this band did as well. And I met the only original member of the band there. Had a nice chat, really cool guy. This band is Vital Remains, and I showed this in my collection update video along with the Impetigo release in my last part. And this is their 1990 demo, Excruciating Pain. Look at this. They got supposedly this is just getting their brains blown out. And it reminds me of a piece of artwork you would see on a manga, or manga or an anime, or really anything. But still, it reminds me a lot like you would see on artwork on mangas. The tape, of course, that's clear tape with a logo. No band picture, but it's got the artwork, the songs there, and The name's there. Cool. Like I said, Tony Lazzaro was he's the only original member left in the band. Throat, what they call the vocals, but his name's Glenn. And Tony's known him since they were kids. He was telling me when I met him. But yeah, I found this in a box full of stuff, and whoever got rid of it was like, I don't need it anymore. And I bought this along with Evolved demo that I got, which will be shown in a later video to this series. And you know, I just shown on this channel, regardless if I get asked like what's a rare release, definitely one of these that I own in my collection. Never thought I was going to get this. I was going to get this on Discogs, but it was going for too much. But luckily, it came into the shop and I picked it up. My man, I heard this on YouTube a couple of times now, and yeah, it's really cool. It's a lot different from what they started doing from there. Obviously, their first release, their first album called Let Us Pray. I was literally about to say, yeah, Let Us Pray from 1992. Of course, they started doing the longest songs, because if I look on this release, Excruciating Pain, there's one song that's 6.5 minutes long, just over 6.5 minutes long. But we all know Vital Remains, and a lot of their stuff is very long. You get songs that are like 8 minutes, 9 minutes. I think there's a 10-minute song. I could be wrong, but a song close to being 10 minutes. But there's only one song on here that's over 6.5 minutes, and that is called Resurrected, which is on side 1 of the tape. If anyone has this in their collection, it's like someone like, yeah, I still have this. Well, I got it in that. I got it as well. Oh, I got it as well. So I just went over my words a bit. But definitely pick that up if you already got it, don't get rid of it. If you're trying to find it, all I can say is good luck. And cheers again. Right. On to the last bands, and after that, I'll let you guys go on with your day. And of course, you can always come back to this video, pause it anytime. So, but anyway, let's get on to the last two bands. I'm gonna start with the band at the end of the list first, and then get on to the last band, get onto the band before them. You know, might as well. This band's been going since 2012. They're from, well, when I looked on Battalion, said Miami, they county, something, Miami something county, but basically how I describe them, they're from the Everglades in Florida. Of course, I am talking about Worm, and I got 3 of their releases here. I know one of the releases, it was pretty much off full-on black metal album, because they started out with black metal, and that was called Evocation of the Black Marsh. But I am going into their death doom metal stuff, which is still very black metal sounding. And of course, I'm going with their second album from 2019. They'll start releasing it on CD and vinyl and tape around 2020. And this is Worm's Gloomlord. This is excellent stuff. And there's a picture of the band, black and green. That always goes really well, and it suits the mood of the band as well. And I know they've just done the first lot of shows as a band, and I'm hoping one day to actually see them. I hope they come to the UK, because I really want to see Worm. Of course, we've got the CD, which is black and green. Got a picture of Phantom Slaughter. Still trying to get him on the chat, but obviously Worm's now playing shows. Might be a bit difficult now. But hoping to get him on so we can talk more about the band. And the booklet here is also a poster. Yeah, look at that. And Because I am tempted just to put this on my wall or just keep it there. Or if I buy another copy, I'll just take the one out of that and put it on my wall. But then I think it's better just to keep it in. Keep it in the. Okay, now I'm keep it in the booklet. There we go. Just managed to fold it back up. Wanted to try and re-fold it back up again, but yeah. What do you get with this? Well, with this release, you just get really dark sounding death doom. It's very funeral sounding as well. So you can class these guys as funeral, death, doom, funeral, death, black, doom metal. Like the later two releases. This one's just very funeral sounding death doom. And of course, my favorite song on here is Rotting Spheres of Sentient Blackness, which when I was doing Jinx Metal Sessions as just a podcast and talking about the bands, that was one of the songs I played. But all in all, this entire album is amazing. Get if you don't have it, along with this one, their second release, which is from 2021. I also had this on vinyl, which I should have dug out as well, but as I got the CD here and I only got the vinyl for the latest release, I'll just show the CD. Foreverglade. Absolutely fantastic album. There's no picture of Phantom Slot there. That screams pretty much old school, late 80s, early 90s black metal, basically. And the artwork there's the same person, I believe, that did Two Molds artwork. That CD black and purple there. Oh, mate. And I think the booklet's just a book. Yeah, it's just a booklet. But get some artwork there to show you. I know there's people out there that will know Worm and these albums, but for anyone that doesn't, this one is, if you want something that's a bit more black metal sounding, but still very funeral doom-esque sounding as well, but very funeral death doom, definitely this one. This one's just like full-on death doom. Like I said, it's got that funeral doom vibe to it. This one as well has got that. It's just so much to it. It's excellent stuff. And the last one from Worm is their latest release, is a mini album from last year. Well, it's classed as the EP, but calling it a mini album because that's what they've been classing it as, and others have been classing it as. And that is Bluenothing. Of course, the logo has changed. Right, let's look at the logos. There's that logo for Everglade, and this logo for Gloomlord, which is on my jacket over there. So the logos have changed a bit, and some might say on getting more and more unrecognizable and more hard to read, but yeah. Back of the picture. Sorry, I had the burp. I think the vinyl is a colored vinyl. I could be wrong, but oh yes, of course. There's this. Hang on a minute. There's this big poster here, which I kind of don't. I know it one's a piece of artwork, but this here, I'm planning on pretty much framing in a frame and just putting it on my wall. Because look at this. Absolutely fantastic. And it's going to be a pain in the ass to get back in here. So I'll do that once. I've done this video, but here's another piece of artwork here. And picture of the band. So I'll put that to one side. But yeah, I'm very tempted to do that. And I think the vinyl, just a plain black vinyl. I thought it was a coloured vinyl. So I know you can get ones with coloured vinyl, but definitely get Bluenothing by Worm. I'm gonna try and put this back in. Well, I won't put it back in now. But Worm, definitely a band that people need to check out. if you want to listen to much more heavier, dark sounding death metal with that hint of black metal and funeral doom, definitely Worm is your go-to for that. And the last one, these guys are from New York, pretty much New York City, New York, formed in 1988. They're currently not doing anything at the moment because one of the members, if I remember correctly, has been suffering from hearing problems, so they haven't been doing any shows as of late. Let me just read them up. It's one of them. So before we continue on with that, it's the band Winter, which, of course, if you know them, you know their only release. I got the vinyl out as well, but I also have it on CD. And of course, I'm talking about Into Darkness. Now, this is some excellent death doom, and it's very, very sludgy sounding. Very sludgy. And of course, I'll show the vinyl quickly. And there's the vinyl. And on both of them, because it's the one re-released by Svart Records, I don't know. And both of them have the Eternal Frost EP, which I haven't got around to listen to yet, but I will be. Well, I'm sure I've heard at least one or two tracks from the EP, but I definitely heard this entire album. And wow, absolutely fantastic stuff. It's heavy, it's sludgy. It's definitely something you want. Definitely what you want with your death doom, and that's what I want with my death doom. Well, if it's done right with that sludginess, then yes, death doom with some sludge, and this works. From 1990, this album, it came out, and the guitarist, like I was saying, they haven't done any shows in a while because their guitarist, what's his name, Stephen, he's had severe hearing damage, and was medically advised not to do any more live shows. They did reform in 2010 to do Road Burn, and if I knew about them a little bit earlier, and could have done it, I could have gone and saw these guys. But maybe one day they'll get back together and do some shows, because like I said, they formed in 1988, split up in 1992, and then reformed in 2010 and stopped in 2015. And the current status is they're on hold, so don't know what's going on with them. But I think I can. Here's a little bit of artwork there. One of the CDs fell out, but one of them is the Eternal Frost EP, and of course their album there. Favorite song? Oh, there we see. Okay, that's a bit loose. Sorry. Right. Yeah, usually happens. Favorite song is track number 4. Godin or Godin. I think it's pronounced Godin, or it might be pronounced Godin. If you know, please do let me know down below. But definitely get this if you want some very sludgy death doom from 1990. And that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I am sweating because, like I said, I forgot to turn my fan on, and I'm an idiot for not doing that. Drink's been helping. My refreshment has been helping me. And of course, showing the artwork for the cups here. And again, like I said, I got more videos lined up more for this series of my favorite underground metal releases. I know it's called that, but a lot of it will be grindcore as well, which, well, if it's grindcore mixed with like death metal, or death and So it's Grindcore, Death Metal, Grindcore is going in the list. And like crossover thrash going in the list. And obviously there'll be more collection update videos every single month. When, well, hopefully August I can get one done even a little bit earlier. So obviously I'm going to be very busy around that time of the month. What else have I got? Obviously more chats will be lined up, and sorting out some guests. May have one or two confirmed, maybe just one confirmed so far. And what else might have planned? I think that's about it so far. Might do like a video when I'm at a festival, just filming a bit of the festival. I might do stuff like that and maybe talk about what's going on around there. So yeah, I got stuff that I have planned. So all the chats, collection updates, all the stuff I got planned. Other stuff that, like I mentioned, like maybe me going around the festival and just showing off what's going on at the festival. Still up in the air about that. I don't know if I'm going to do it yet, and I might do one where I go to the record shops and film it from inside the record shop. Obviously, asking the people that own the record shops permission, things like that. You know, because you don't want to be rude. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like what I do. If you do enjoy what I do, give it a like, share it around, because it will help. It'll help this channel out a lot more, because I'm very passionate about it, and with you guys liking, sharing, and even subscribing to my channel is helping me keep that passion for making these videos alive. So thank you very much. Hope you all have a nice day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Just keep that banner of metal held high, and I'll see you guys in the next one.